So that trial over the police officer accused of killing George Floyd getting underway today in Minneapolis with that jury selection. James Creedon is with me now on set to talk a bit more about this. James, just talk to us more about the trial and what we can expect from today.
Okay, so this is the beginning of a three-week period, really, where they're going to select jurors, and they're going to be asked their views on Black Lives Matter. They're going to be asked their views on policing and criminal justice. And I suppose the thing is, when you are a jury member, you're meant to really just examine the facts, examine what is presented to you in the courtroom. But how can anyone in America, the world even, have ignored what happened around the death of George Floyd and the movement that was sparked by that, the Black Lives Matter movement? No one was in a hermetically sealed container. Everybody had an opinion on this, and even if they might have skepticism about the Black Lives Matter movement, or people generally speaking had a position on this. I suppose it intersected with the American political, a very charged moment in American politics, and really I don't think there was anyone sitting on the fence on this particular issue. People had an opinion on it. There was the Black Lives Matter movement, then there was the Blue Lives Matter movement that was sort of a response to that. People saying, hold on a minute, Black Lives Matter want to defund the police. We think we need more support for the police, for law and order. And of course Donald Trump at the time very much took that ball on the hop, so to speak, and turned it into something that could actually benefit him politically, which was he turned the Black Lives Matter movement, which at times included violent protests. There were whole city blocks in Minneapolis and other cities that were totally destroyed. And so that became, for Trump supporters, something that highlighted law and order and the need for more police funding, not less.
Talk to us a bit more about Black Lives Matter and how it highlights just how polarized America is today.
Well, because it's not the first case of police violence that got a lot of media attention. If you go back to 1992, there was the incident in, I think it was in Los Angeles, of if I could find, I'm trying to find the references here. It was Rodney King, and 4 white police officers at that time were acquitted, and by a mostly white jury. And so there was fury, there was rioting on the streets, and I think if we look at this particular case, now there's going to be a lot of scrutiny of the jurors. There is a degree of memory of that event back in 1992, and a sense that this case represents something quite important on the social level, even if it is actually just a case. It has been tied to the zeitgeist in some respects. So that was in 1992. Then there was in 2004 there was Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and Eric Garner in New York. 2 murders by racist police officers. But what we're seeing with Black Lives Matter, this is now 2020, 2021, this is the era of social media. This is the era. It was also a video there was a video of this shocking event where you can see Derek Chauvin kneeling on his neck. It's an extremely emotive piece of video, and so the Black Lives Matter movement was able to, I suppose, capitalize on that, for want of a better word, and it turned into something viral and very, very strong in terms of the movement spreading out. And indeed, it shook America's conscience, I think, in a way that previous cases of police violence did not. And you can see that in very white suburbs, in towns that do not have necessarily a very large African American or ethnic populations, that a lot of these people participated in the protests as well. It was something that transcended race, in fact. And so America, very polarised for sure, but not along race lines about this issue. It's very much about police brutality and racism.
James, thank you for that. From James Creedon.